So if you've been watching my videos for a while, in which case, you're awesome. Though really, let's face it, if you're watching this video at all, you're awesome. But anyways, if you've been around a while or you know me, then you know for the last couple years I have watched every single Oscar Best Picture nominee. And this year I am continuing that effort and I am trying to not only watch every single of the Best Picture nominees, but also every possible Oscar nominated film that I can. Which probably won't be that many more than just the Best Picture nominees, but yeah. I am calling this endeavor OscarQuest. Because of reasons, and I just wanted to stop by, say hey, and share with you guys my progress so far. Fair warning, I'm going to try to keep all of these little reviews as spoiler-free as possible, but if you are one of those people who doesn't like to know anything at all before going to see a movie, you should maybe stop watching this. I'll list all of the movies I'm going to be talking about in the down there, just so you know. With that out of the way, let's start talking about films. So far, I have seen 4 of the movies nominated for Best Picture and a couple others. I'm going to start with Hugo because it was the first of the movies that I saw. I actually saw this movie in like November around Thanksgiving when I was in Nebraska with my family. I really enjoyed Hugo and I thought it was very well done, like visually it was really cool to watch. But the thing about it is that the movie really contains 2 separate stories. This would be a good place to note that I have not read the book that Hugo is based upon, and I know that I should, and it's on my ever-growing list of books to read. The first half of the movie I loved. I loved the story about Hugo, about the kid living in the train station and dealing with all of that. But then in the second half the movie kind of transitions and becomes more about this other, like, old guy, and there was a little bit too much exposition in that, and I just couldn't really make myself care about that story as much. Overall, I still really enjoyed the movie, but I thought it might have been a little bit better if they had focused more on the initial story of Hugo and all of his things. And I am really curious to read the book and just see what everything was. On an entirely separate note, one thing that I personally thought was kind of cool is that they reference this old film where this rocket goes into the moon and all sorts of other zany stuff happens, and I had seen that film previously. It was at an art museum near me and I had seen it with my friend and we had laughed at how zany it was, and that was a cool thing. Next movie! The first movie I watched specifically for OscarQuest was Midnight in Paris. This has probably been my favorite movie so far. I know that Owen Wilson has not always been the best in things, but I think he did a really good job in this movie, and I just really liked the story and the whole kind of magicalness to it. I think that if I were more well-read and more cultured, I would have better understood some of the references that the movie made, but even so, I just thought it was a really enjoyable and well-made film. The next movie I saw was The Tree of Life. For pretty much all of these movies, I've known very little about them going into watching them, but The Tree of Life I probably knew the least about. I don't think I had heard of it before all of the Oscar nominations came out, and the only thing I knew about it was that it involved a family in the 50s and had Brad Pitt. If you've seen The Tree of Life, you will understand that I was therefore a little bit surprised by the movie. It doesn't follow like your kind of conventional movie format. It's very non-linear and kind of abstract at parts. Maybe it's because I didn't know what to expect going in, or because I don't watch enough non-conventional movies, but I just didn't find the whole thing all that effective. It was a very well-made movie, and I definitely enjoyed parts of it, but on the whole, it was too long, and I just didn't quite get it. The last Best Picture nominee I'm going to talk about today is The Help. The Help is pretty much exactly what you would expect it to be. It was kind of like a feel-good, white people solve racism kind of movie. And I don't mean that as a bad thing. It was still a very good, very enjoyable movie, and it wasn't just the white people. It had some very good acting, although as much as I like Emma Stone, I feel like she could have been a little bit better. And while I am in no way, shape, or form an expert on anything, it didn't seem the most realistic. I also haven't read this book, but my mother had, and she said that it was pretty much about the same. All in all, it was still a very good movie. It was just nothing really surprising or different. So at this point, I've probably rambled on long enough, but I just want to mention really quick the other movies that I've seen that have been nominated for things. First, we have the obvious Harry Potter 7 Part 2, which I would gladly root for visual effects and makeup, though probably not art direction. Sorry. I also watched Margin Call, which was surprisingly enjoyable, despite being a financial drama, which I suppose is why it's nominated for Best Original Screenplay. And I watched Beginners, which I think I would describe as, you know, a nice, cute, kind of more serious romantic comedy. I don't know, but I also really enjoyed that. So yeah, now I really am done rambling. If you've made it this far into the video, I congratulate you, thank you, you're my favorites. And feel free to let me know in the comments what you think about any of these movies if you've seen them, and whether or not you think I should do another one of these after I've seen some more movies. Bye!